Many thanks for staying with us. You're watching TVC Breakfast, and come Saturday, September the 21st, the electorate in Edo State are expected to come out in their numbers to elect a new governor who will superintend over the affairs of the state for the next 4 years. And Edo has about 18 local government areas with more than 4,510 polling units. There are also more than 2 million persons who have collected their permanent voter cards. And so anticipation is high over this off-cycle election, especially with the friction between top political parties who are participating in the election. The Independent National Electoral Commission has also assured of its commitments to oversee a seamless electoral process. So that's what we want to talk about. Now we have in the studio radio broadcast journalist. He's also an advanced diploma candidate in law enforcement administration, Joseph Folorunsho. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Right. And okay, so let's talk about the election in Edo State. Of course, we cannot mention political parties now because all right, let's read the call. But okay, so one thing for me as we start off is the issue of voter turnout. I want to know your expectations. Yes, we understand that out of the 2.6 million registered voters, more than 2.2 million have collected their PVCs. But if you look at the trends in past election, it doesn't exactly mean that voter turnout would be high, because last election in 2020, it was 24% of people who collected their PVCs that came out to vote. What are your predictions this time around?
My prediction is people would have come out. People would have come out seriously to come and vote. But the security agencies already told them to stay in their house by going to Edo State and be intimidating the people of Edo State. And this is what I mean. If you look at the comment of the IGP, when you get to Edo State, I mentioned the issue of activities of Edo State local security network suspended. And IGP did not have that kind of power because that agency is a creation of Edo State House of Assembly. And if you want to do something like that at a very sound security agency or a #1 citizen of police in Nigeria, you have put a call to the speaker. No, they put a call to the speaker of Edo State House of Assembly. I know this agency is a creation of your house. What can we do? Can you make a pronouncement that, okay, send a letter to the Edo State governor, Governor Basike, and say, okay, let's find a way that this Edo State local security lets you tune down their activities and allow the police to actually supervise this election. And but when you just make a pronouncement, the activity is suspended. I was thinking that my speaker would have go to court and sue the IGP, that you don't have those such power. Yeah, you are the IGP. Even this agency was created because of some failures of some security lapses to support what the police have been doing. And when they commend that agency, the police will carry along.
Right.
You understand? So if you want to have a conversation with all the stakeholders and say, okay, what can we do? How do we walk around? But in Edo State, one thing that people must understand is we don't believe on intimidation. You cannot go to an Edo State and want to intimidate anybody. So, and that's the reason. Even when the Chief of Defense Staff came to, he just followed the narrative of the IGP. In a civilized country, the military is to just make sure our border is properly taken care of. This is eternal issue, which should have been supervised by the police. And I know that the police are doing very well, but sometimes they take sides by maybe some of their statements. Because if they have serious conversation with all the stakeholders in Edo State, I can bet you out of excess of 2 million, you can have close to 2 million coming out. Because we look at the election and it's just like a carnival. You understand? Because like in my style, I'm from Akoko Edo. You understand? I'm from Ososo in Akoko Edo. What we do is sometimes, some people will just go to any of the party. You understand? You go to the part A, I go to part B. At the end of the election, we just come together and say, okay, this is the person.
So no acrimony.
Yes, no, but what is going on now is the security agency is already trying to create an environment that will be difficult for them to be able to handle. Because if you look at the election that brought the former governor in, Adams Oshomole, you know, some people face people with arm because they make up their mind where they are going. When they see that some people want to turn, they have to face. So it's just an appeal. The Edo people are extremely very, very ready. Is INEC ready? Is security agency ready? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. That's the question we should be asking ourselves.
But in the defense of the police, well, he said for those that don't have their PVCs, they should not come out. That is, in a way, a security approach to managing the situation.
I can bet you that Edo people are very, very cerebral in thinking. Okay. Those that do not have PVC, they will not even come out. You don't need to tell them. And they will not come out.
Were you saying that the police is already taking a stand? We are also talking about how to manage sentiments, opinions, and those who may want to, take advantage of the election.
And that's why the police would have be careful what they utter out of what they say. They would have be extra careful.
Well,
what they say.
Well, the use of the local vigilantes and all that, is it not a better approach asking them to pause all their operations so as to ensure a level of independence? When you're talking about the police force, the police deployed about 35,000 men. We have the NSCDC. What do we really need the local vigilantes for?
The first question, do we even need up to 35,000 police officers? Is it true that we are going to see the census that, the number of police, the number of boots on the ground are actually 35,000, or it's just a data for you to look at what you can maybe do some economic calculation on that? So there are so many narratives for me as a person who passed through a lot of security. So I will need to ask a lot of questions. No, the challenge we have in Nigeria is why Nigeria where it is now we don't appreciate data. It's only in Nigeria that when you give 4 options of the population of Nigeria, all the options are correct. Because we are waiting for data from World Bank, we are waiting for data from different estimation. But if you Google the American population now, today, tomorrow, you will see that they are updating it. And that's why they can easily plan. So those numbers, I have a lot of questions for those numbers. Is it you? How was the population of Edo State that the military, everybody, why we have issue in Zamfara, issue in Kaduna, Niger State? It is just an election, not that they want to fight. None of those candidates that is from maybe even a neighboring state, either Delta or Ondo or Kogi State. Or not to talk of, say, one of them is from... Why should military go there? Is it an election between the citizens of Cameroon and Ghana? So I believe that if the IGP do his work very well, he would have been capable to be able to handle the issue of this current election. That almost all the agencies are going there. If all these agencies actually love Edo State so much, I don't think issue of security would have been happening in Edo State. Before now, why are not these agencies not go to Edo State to assist them in security challenging? If you know the border, there's a large border between Kogi and Edo State. You understand? There are a lot of security challenges there. People are being kidnapped every day. Have you ever seen the IGP going there with area patrol, the chief of defense and go there, okay, you are... So my own concern is this. It's as if whenever there is election, you see all our adrenaline in Nigeria is up. But after the election, everybody relax. But the agency is supposed to be focusing on governance issue. How to make sure that people go to farm in Edo State. How to make sure people go to farm in Nigeria. I can bet you where there are security challenges now. If there's any election there, you see all the agency, whether the military, the police, civil defense, everybody will be saying one thing or the other. Just because of election. But after the election, all of them will find the way they keep their pillow and their mattress and they relax. Okay,
still on this point of the security, voter turnout and other attendant issues, that security network, the security outfits that was created in Edo State was also a contentious issue during the campaigns that have now ended, with political parties slamming the incumbent government of, using that to target, unperceived enemies and all of that. So perhaps that may also be where the IGP is coming from in, suspending that. But I take your point. I hear you when you say that could perhaps have been better handled between the IGP and the House of Assembly. All right. But then, in addition to that, we also have an independent electoral NGO, so to speak, that's Yaga Africa, that has come out to identify some local government as battleground states and, violence-prone areas, among which are Koko, Edo, Esako, East, Esan, West, Ogo, Oredo, and, a host of other areas. 8 local governments, it says, are hotspots for violence. What are your thoughts?
That's the narrative of some of the security or some individuals. See, that what I said, in Edo, we hate intimidation. You don't come to Edo State as if you are. The only person that we say we can, when he's talking, everybody will say, yes, you have to go as Solusale is the palace. Any other person, we should be able to ask him. If you talk of the governor is there because occasioned by the law, the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And when we see that if Obaseki is trying to go, maybe want to overdo something against the law, people will call him and say, Oga, you are the governor. But this, according to the law, you are not supposed to do this. So what I'm saying is the Akoko Edo, you say that it's a hotbed. This is just people narrative. I'm from Akoko Edo. If we want to conduct any election, various party A, party B, and the rest of them, we do the election as if it's just a normal spot. But when you see other INEC, when we observe, just like we are here now, if you observe that maybe element of bias, then you raise some question. If the security are, how do I put it, they are neutral. If the INEC, they are neutral, because some of those agencies you are seeing, there are some people who, by God's grace, they say have conscience. When they see that people are taking some decision, they give us some information. This is what may likely happen. Please, you should be guided. The same thing go with INEC. Do you know that they conduct election, a local government election in Edo State? The governor did not even declare public holiday. Yeah, you may say it is because one party, but we still have Edo State House of Assembly is comprised of not only one party, and those people equally had interest in that local government election. But you did not see the governor closing down the state, and the local government election was conducted, and everybody go to his house. We show that just allow the people of Edo to exercise their franchise. You won't see, in fact, that election can be one of the most peaceful elections in Nigeria. But when you see security agency trying to be maybe ski toward one side, the people will tell you that this is Edo State. They will tell you that this is Edo State, that we will not allow you to do that. That's a message to all the security agency. That's a message to the INEC people. If you want the election to be, if this policing agency want that election to be peaceful, I can bet you that election will be the most peaceful election in Nigeria. If INEC want that election to be peaceful, that election will be the most peaceful election in Nigeria. For the people, I can vow.
But not without the role of, it's not just the police that will ensure that it is peaceful. Yes, they have the arms, but then, of course, if you also look at regular election cycles, have not come without the, various proportions of violence. And looking at this particular election campaign cycle, are you saying you haven't expressed worry at any point at the conduct of some politicians, their parties, and even the candidates?
Because the security agency failed to pick up people who feel that they are above the law. You understand this? We have the, which I don't believe, I don't see any agency that they call DSS. We have the SSS, right? I cannot be saying something now that in the state that I know that it will cause crisis in the state. And the SSS is looking at me. You understand? No matter who my position in the society, immediately I want to I'm saying something that will create any problem in the system. SSS should be chatting with me. But you see people making some pronouncement, either because they feel that if we invite this person, maybe our job may be on the line. They will be looking.
Are you talking about the do or die statement attributed to the governor?
The governor cannot say a do or die. I think people equally misquote the governor. The governor is saying that, you know what, Edo State has been so peaceful, we are believing in peace. But if anybody is coming to think that he has power anywhere, to say he want to maybe change the narrative, that the people are ready to resist if you want to change what they have in mind.
Resist how? Resist
For example,
how?
if I decide that I'm interested in party A, and I see that other INEC or security agency are to some extent favorable to part B, there will be a problem. There will be a problem. So what I'm just saying is, that election, the whole world should be the world should put their eye on INEC, they should put their eye on the policing agency. I mean by policing, whether the military, the police, and those are the, for me, that is the only challenge that I'm having. I don't have any issue with my people. Though people are very cerebral in thinking, they know where they are going. Just allow them, the election will be peaceful. But if it is situated by security agency want to be like, they want to be part of the decision making in that election, the people tell you that this place will not be conducive for you.
Well, I'm hoping that you have some information privy to what you are.
As a journalist, yes.
About that to make that statement. But so many persons will disagree with you as regards the presence of security agencies and, you know, making them or utilizing them to intimidate the people. That aside, let's quickly go to INEC and, you know, your assessment of, you know, the release of election materials very early, so to speak. And what are the measures that should be put in place to, you know, forestall or reduce manipulation in that sense? Now,
INEC, they should have detail of the terrain in Edo State. There are some places that are like coastal area in Edo State. You should factor in that a material should get to that very place on a good time. Then the marine police should be able to do their job to make sure that people that will take those INEC material to those very well protected and the rest of them. Because, yes, the election is within all the kind they are from Edo State. But sometimes, you know, he call it a calculation to 2027 election among all the parties. So which means that there are some people who are not from Edo State that are equally interested that this election is an equation for 2027 calculation. But one thing that I love is the President Commander-in-Chief is a Democrat, and I know that he will talk to the security, which I will beg him to talk to the security agency that those people, they are peace-loving people, allow them to do what they should do. Then the other one is INEC should ensure that politicians should not influence whatever they want to do. INEC should be above in relating to politicians. No, because with the constitution, it is INEC that's supposed to even supervise even the security agency. The IG is supposed to be compared, you know, with the INEC people. For the military, for me, as a criminology, I don't want to say something that the military will not be happy with me. I don't see why we want to conduct an internal election that military should be talking. Why we have issue at the border. There are a lot of security challenges, which people are saying that there are some infiltration from outside, which is lapses from agencies that are supposed to make sure that our border is properly protected. So when you talk of internal security, because when you see civil defense talking, military talking, just a pass a vote of no confidence to the security police that, oh, this is supposed to be your job. We feel that you have failed, and that's why we are coming to come and help you. So what I'm appealing is this: let's allow the police, if this democracy must work, let this police be given the proper position that they are the alpha and omega of any democratic system. Fund them properly and motivate them properly. Give them a good housing facility. The police will deliver. This police you are seeing, just give them a conducive environment. They will deliver. But when you don't give them a conducive environment, politicians can easily infiltrate them and started giving them some instruction. Because many of them, they are looking for promotion, they are looking for motivation, they are looking for good posting. If they feel that if they can work with follow the narrative of any politician, it can lead to promotion in their job, it can lead to better posting to some, maybe in quote, juicy department, then they will just fall in. But if IGP seriously focus on his work, make sure that anyone that needs to be promoted, whether he know you, he doesn't know you, he gets his promotion. Those that are right to be posted to different agencies, you know they can perform very well and make police image to be one of the best across the whole world. When you are doing that, the police will always make sure they protect our democratic system. So for me, our democratic system is in this stage, occasioned by one, the policing agency, particularly the police, and the INEC. Because sometimes you may be surprised, INEC will tell you beaver. Later they say beaver, bye-bye. You understand it? So we should have a system. Why is our election not be driven by technology? Why do you need to look at what has happened in JAM for some time? Before you know, when you want to write JAM, they'll pick up almost all they'll be hiring vehicle to be carrying JAM question from one state to the other. But with technology, children are in their various places. They will write their JAM and you see your result.
All right.
Why can't in our INEC deploy serious technology into INEC, into the activities of INEC?
All right. Let's also talk about the influence of money politics on the elections in Edo State. How far do you think this would go? It has also been an issue, and yes, it's not just Edo, but you've spoken about the psyche of the average Edo citizen in terms of money politics. What do you think? How do you think it will play out tomorrow?
Yeah, money politics. Let's start from what is the budget of the military for that Edo election? Ask them. They will have a budget. What they are going to spend. Civil defense, they have a budget. Police will have their budget. Road safety will have their budget. Is that day they say no movement? What did road safety won't do? You understand? So everybody will become, when you talk, because you are measuring money. So if every of these agencies are spending money they are not supposed to spend, why will politicians not equally say, okay, let me spend money? Because I'm seeing that those that are not supposed to spend money for the sake of this election, they are spending election. And I do tell people, you talk of issue of vote banning, vote ban. To me, I don't know how you are going to, maybe trial within trial in court, you say someone buy vote. You will not be able to sustain it. Because the issue there is it. If I have a preferential treatment to vote for party C, and I vote for party C, or before voting, or after voting, the party C decide to say, okay, take this thing for transport. You call that vote buying. It did not change my decision. I have in mind to vote. So sometimes that's why you see some agency pronounce something, but when you go to court, they mess up themselves. What do you mean by vote buying? I do ask some security agents, what do you mean by vote buying? So you tell us your own definition of because there's no, you can't go to our constitution and say this is vote buying. You are a candidate in an election. In my mind, I say, okay, you are my candidate. I'm going to cast my vote for you. I'm a member of your party. No, let's vote. Okay. You may not be a member of my party. Okay. I love you. I love your program and everything. Let me vote for you. Then they now decide, okay, people that are apology to this party will decide to support them with transport. In their mind, they already say this is where they are going. If you support them with transport, you call that vote buying. So there's some narrative we push to the public that you cannot sustain them in court.
But let us also look at it. You collecting the money, the person that collects the money from a candidate. Of course, is that... How many candidates will give you money? Don't you think that they only have agency. Don't you think that is a slant to generate pity from, or, appeal to pity or appeal to vote for me? Is that not another way? Now, what of the money that we spend for INEC? That money, can INEC come out and say to the public and say, let's actually do audit of our account? That this is how much we actually need for that election, and this is how much we collect. So if you talk of vote, there's buying of the process from INEC side. There's buying of the process from the security agents. If we finish this election in Edo State, let IGP tell us let him tell us his expenses on Edo State election. We'll not ask him, why do you spend this kind of money for Edo election? Well, so there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that we need to be asking some of our agency.
A lot of questions to be asked.
A lot of questions because, for example,
I'm wondering if you've never heard of harassment of voters, to influence their vote just before the vote. Well, beyond the use of money, because you're sounding like that does not exist.
No,
that is not tenable.
I am not saying it doesn't exist. In criminology, we look at there's no way different. You will remove poverty from crime. Nigeria, we are deceiving ourselves. In as much as there's poverty, you cannot divorce crime in that kind of environment. Some people are finding it difficult now to pay their children's school fees. Some people are finding it difficult to pay their house rent. Some people are finding it difficult to even support the business that they are doing. I am looking for money, occasioned by the system. Do you know there are some people that are in Edo State that are in debt and the debtor state that I was in Benue sometimes. Some people they are in IDP. Maybe 10 years ago, did you dash money? If they say they want to donate money in any time in Benue, say they will be the part of people that donate money. But currently, do you know the meaning of IDP? You remove someone from his sociology, you remove, and the IGP, the chief of the, they are not sitting down in their office and say, no, this is an aberration. Nobody should be in Nigeria and be an IDP, be inside IDP. You are coming to discuss a state election that would just be like people that want to play table tennis. Are we serious in this country?
What I'm trying to say is that irrespective of the situation, whether poverty or any other situation, once you exchange money for a vote, it is vote buying, right?
I can't say because it is court that will say it is vote buying. I'm not the court. Because there are some of these things that we see. When you go to court, it's just like I allege you for anything. But you reach court, if you cannot substantiate it, the judge will tell you, or the court will tell you that, okay, let this man be going home because you cannot, what you are alleging him. You can't
You don't have proof.
You don't have any proof.
We're not even certain. I don't think I've seen any part where EFCC has said they would, come out to monitor the elections. But I know that they've gotten some breakthrough in courts as against with the issue of financing, financing campaigns, and even a semblance of vote buying and all of that you say. So we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out.
See, job like that sometimes. The police agent will take someone to court. What they tell you, when they now reach the court, go and look at the charge sheet. It's different from what they tell you they are charging him for. Because they know they will not be able to substantiate that in court.
Right. And talking about, the courts now, we have also, come to a situation in the country where every election cycle will not end at the polling units, but, most of the time we see them slug it out further in the courts, even before the election and especially after the elections. This time around, how do you see things playing out?
No, that one is part of what INEC have already created that scenario. Window. INEC already created that window. And that's the reason where we do deceive us. And when we say INEC is an independent electoral commission, it's just a narrative that we use to deceive ourselves. Which INEC is independent?
So there is no way in your
INEC is a name.
INEC
is a name as independent. That is by name. But when you talk of activities of INEC, it's different from when you see, because INEC that, okay, a party will have their primary, this one they present they present the candidates at their flag bearer. A court will come and say, no, change it. INEC would have go to court and say, they should be able to go to court and say, the court, this is what we observe. This is the provision of INEC rule in any primary. We have done it, we have done it. They will follow a logical conclusion that you cannot force us.
But INEC cannot be seen. INEC cannot be seen to influence the judge. That because the polling agent was there, that means I saw well. No, the judge is still supposed to be an unbiased umpire.
No, I know, but the provision is if any party want to do a primary, there's a role that INEC played there. If INEC played that role, and the court is not saying otherwise, INEC should be able to go to court and say, we play the role that we're supposed to play according to our electoral law. You understand it? So that's why we say the word just so many things that some narratives or name that when we talk of in practice, they are not there.
All right.
And we cannot grow our democratic system this way. Have you see election in America, you see election in UK. Have you ever seen military talking?
All right. We've run out of time, but we thank you very much, Joseph Folorunso.
Thank you very much for having me.
Speaking with us on TVC Breakfast.